Thank you for visiting our channel. Please like, share and subscribe for more exciting food videos. Now that we've cooked down our wild berries, it's time to finish up the jam and talk about some fun ways to enjoy it. Let's dive right in. The jam making process. Now that you have your wild berries prepared and your ingredients and equipment ready, it's time to start making your jam. This process involves several steps, from sterilizing your jars to filling and sealing them with your delicious homemade jam. Think of it as a recipe for success. Follow these steps, and you'll be enjoying your homemade wild berry jam in no time. What's the most important part of the jam making process, in your opinion? Is it the preparation of the berries, the cooking of the jam, or the sterilization of the jars? Sterilizing jars and lids. Before you can fill your jars with jam, you need to make sure they're clean and sterile. This is a crucial step in the jam making process, as it helps prevent the growth of bacteria and mold in your jam. To sterilize your jars and lids, you can wash them in hot soapy water, and then rinse them thoroughly. Next, place the jars and lids in a pot of boiling water for 10 to 15 minutes to kill any remaining bacteria. You can also use a dishwasher to sterilize your jars and lids. Just make sure to use the hot water setting. Once your jars and lids are sterile, you can remove them from the water with a clean pair of tongs or a slotted spoon, and place them on a clean towel to dry. It's a good idea to have a few extra jars and lids on hand, just in case some of them don't seal properly. What's your preferred method for sterilizing jars and lids? Do you use the boiling water method or the dishwasher method? Filling and sealing jars. Now that your jars and lids are sterile, it's time to fill them with your delicious homemade jam. To do this, you'll need to use a clean ladle or spoon to transfer the jam from the pot to the jar. Make sure to leave about 1/4 inch of headspace at the top of the jar, as this will help the jam to seal properly. Once the jar is filled, you can use a clean cloth or paper towel to wipe away any spills or drips. Next, place the lid on the jar, and screw on the ring until it's tight. But don't over-tighten. You want to make sure the lid is secure, but not so tight that it can't be removed. To ensure a good seal, you can also use a jar lifter to place the jar in a pot of boiling water for 5 to 10 minutes. This will help to kill any remaining bacteria and create a vacuum seal. What's the most challenging part of filling and sealing jars for you? Is it getting the jam to the right consistency, or making sure the lids are screwed on just right? Tips and variations for making wild berry jam. Now that you've mastered the basics of wild berry jam making, it's time to get creative and experiment with different flavors and ingredients. One of the best things about making your own jam is that you can customize it to your taste preferences. Do you like a little spice in your jam, or perhaps a hint of citrus? Maybe you're feeling adventurous and want to try using different types of sugar or adding some unique ingredients to give your jam an extra boost of flavor. Whatever your preference, there are countless ways to mix things up and create a truly one-of-a-kind wild berry jam. Adding spices and flavorings. When it comes to adding spices and flavorings to your wild berry jam, the possibilities are endless. Some popular options include cinnamon, nutmeg, and citrus zest. To add these spices and flavorings to your jam, simply mix them in during the cooking process. For example, you can add a sprinkle of cinnamon or nutmeg to your jam during the last few minutes of cooking, or mix in some grated citrus zest, such as lemon or orange, to give your jam a bright and tangy flavor. You can also try adding other spices and flavorings, such as ginger, cloves, or allspice, to create a unique and delicious flavor combination. Some other ideas for spices and flavorings you can add to your wild berry jam include a pinch of salt to balance out the sweetness, a teaspoon of vanilla extract for a hint of creaminess, a handful of fresh mint leaves for a refreshing twist, a sprinkle of cardamom for a unique and aromatic flavor using different types of sugar. Another way to mix things up when making wild berry jam is to experiment with different types of sugar. While white granulated sugar is a classic choice, you can also try using brown sugar, honey, or even maple syrup to give your jam a richer and more complex flavor. Brown sugar, for example, adds a deep and caramel-like flavor to your jam, while honey provides a touch of sweetness and a hint of floral flavor. Maple syrup, on the other hand, adds a rich and velvety texture to your jam, along with a subtle hint of maple flavor. When using different types of sugar, keep in mind that they can affect the texture and consistency of your jam, so you may need to adjust the amount of pectin or cooking time accordingly. For example, if you're using a liquid sweetener like honey or maple syrup, you may need to cook your jam for a few minutes longer to get it to the right consistency. Some benefits and drawbacks of using different types of sugar include: white granulated sugar provides a clean and neutral flavor, but can be overpowering if used in excess. Brown sugar adds a deep and caramel-like flavor, but can make your jam slightly more dense. And heavy honey provides a touch of sweetness and a hint of floral flavor, but can be expensive and may crystallize over time. Maple syrup adds a rich and velvety texture, but can be expensive and may have a strong flavor that overpowers the berries. Video. Making wild berry jam at home is a great way to enjoy the unique flavors and benefits of wild berries. By using fresh, flavorful berries and controlling the ingredients, you can create a healthier and more delicious jam than what's available in stores. Remember, the key to making great wild berry jam is to prepare your berries with care and use the right equipment and ingredients. Experiment with different spices and flavorings to create a unique taste that's all your own. What's your favorite type of wild berry to use in jam making? Try making a batch using the recipe and tips provided, and see how easy it is to create your own delicious wild berry jam at home. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.